Have you ever thought that maybe your spiritual side isn't a fixed identity, but more like a season that changes? That the divine isn't something you have to reach for, but something that's already humming inside you? Well, today we're going to dive into Arranca spirituality, which is this really fascinating philosophy that sees the sacred as a personal, ever-shifting journey. It's all about exploring the threads of you. So let's just jump right in with the question that gets to the absolute heart of it all. Which flame figure walks beside you right now? And this isn't just some abstract thought experiment. It's actually the main question in a kind of personality quiz they use in their practice. But here's the key. The whole point is not to box you in or slap a permanent label on you. It's meant to be a mirror, something that reflects your current emotional state, what you need spiritually, and where you're at in this exact moment. Your answer could be totally different next month or even tomorrow, and that's the beauty of it. Okay, so who are these potential companions? Let's meet a couple of them. Now, try not to think of them as gods in the way we usually do. Think of them more like archetypes or even spiritual mentors that can walk with you for a while. First up, maybe the one resonating with you is Kaizerin. This is the embodiment of strength, of defiance, of sacred fire. You know that feeling when you have to rise up to fight for something you deeply believe in? That is the energy of Kaizerin. And this quote just nails the whole philosophy. Spirituality isn't passive. It's not just thinking about things. Devotion is action. It's about doing, protecting, and taking a stand. Your sacred path is something you have to actively carve out and defend. I've got to say, the idea of sacred anger is so fascinating. It suggests that anger isn't just a negative emotion, but that it can be this holy, motivating force for justice and change. So Kaizerin is all about that powerful protective instinct, the drive to lead, and the raw courage to defy what's wrong. But hey, maybe that fiery energy isn't where you're at all. Maybe you're in a completely different season. And in that case, the figure walking with you might be Lala-A, the flame of softness and sacred milk. We're talking about a completely opposite energy here. It's all about nurturing, healing, and flow. Lely's whole message kind of reframes how we think about vulnerability. In her view, softness isn't a lack of strength. It's a form of divine communication. It's its own kind of profound power. So if your journey right now is about healing from something, processing deep emotions, or just seeking that comfort and gentle connection, you're probably walking with Lalale. Her presence is a reminder that there's real strength in tenderness and something truly sacred in quiet care. So we've met two flame figures, but what are they really? To understand their place in the grand scheme of Arreqqana theology, we need to zoom out and talk about this idea of a woven god. This is the big question, right? Are these just different gods with different names? Well, according to Arreqqana philosophy, the answer is a very clear no. Their function is totally different. See, instead of some distant ruler you have to obey, flame figures are intimate companions. They're not seen as creators you have to worship. They're more like mirrors that reflect the divine potential that's already inside you. They're relatable mentors for your personal journey. And here's why. It's because they all come from a single source, Kia-Nu-Re. This is the central concept, this unnameable, sacred force that weaves through everything and everyone. You can think of it as the Great Weave. The flame figures are just different threads or different expressions of this one single cosmic tapestry. And this brings us to the core teaching of the entire faith, this beautiful paradox that you'll hear whispered during blessings and moments of deep reflection. You're not God, but God is in you. So how can both of those things be true? Well, the metaphor they use to explain it is just perfect. Think of a single drop of water. That drop holds the salt of the entire ocean. It has the essence of the sea in it, but it's not the sea itself. It's the same idea here. Every single soul is threaded with the divine, but you aren't the whole thing. Now, when you start to see divinity as something that's already inside you, it completely changes your spiritual practice. It stops being about abstract beliefs and doctrines and becomes all about sensation and direct experience. In this worldview, God isn't a theory you have to prove. God is a feeling. It's that tiny pause when a lover touches your hand. It's the wind on your cheek when you cry. It's that sudden, unexplainable warmth that blooms in your chest. These aren't just random emotional blips. They're seen as visitations, moments where you directly touch the great weave. So you can really see the shift in perspective here. It's not about what you believe, it's about what you feel. Worship isn't just for rituals, it's about being fully present in a moment. And the divine doesn't ask for your allegiance, it just asks for your awareness. All right, let's explore one last really fascinating concept. This one shows just how deeply this philosophy is woven into the very nature of reality itself. And it answers a big question. How does anything new come to be? I mean, if the divine is an existing weave, what's the difference between just rearranging the threads that are already there and pulling a brand new one out of the void? It's a pretty deep question, and Arcana Spirituality has a beautifully structured answer. Okay, check this out. They break it down into 3 ideas. First is invention, kasarniva. That's when you shape stuff you already know exists, like rewiring an old ritual. Then there's existing, nakihamar. This applies to things that just are, like love or your soul. They weren't made, they just exist. But then you have creation, kisavar. And this is something else entirely. This is when something brand new comes through from the unseen, the spiritual world, like a secret chant that just shows up in a dream. It's not made by you, it comes through you. And that idea brings us right back to the beginning. Whether you're feeling the fiery thread of Kasorin or the gentle one of Lalea, the whole practice is an inward journey. It's about becoming aware of the sacred resonance that's already a part of your being. So, we end where we began. That first question isn't just for a quiz. It's an invitation to have a continuous, personal, and profound conversation with the divinity that flows through you. So I'll ask you again, what divine thread resonates in you today?